Alright, YouTube, welcome back to the channel, ladies and gents. So today's little video, as you can tell by the title, is going to be the dislikes of this car. I've had a car for about 3,500 miles, a little over 3,500 miles, about a month and a half, month and some change. When I pick it up, September 1st. Yeah, that sounds right. And we're here in October now, so I've had it long enough to, you know, get a couple of dislikes about it. And one of them is going to be this weird 1-2 shift. And the reason I'm sitting here in the garage is because if I start driving and I don't catch it, I tried to record this like 3 or 4 times. If I start driving, if I don't catch it, it won't be able to do it again. It only does it like once or twice. If the car has been sitting for a while, like it's been sitting for like 3 days. I haven't drove it all week. So if it's been sitting for a while, even overnight or a couple of hours, doesn't matter. If it's been sitting for more than, you know, a couple of minutes, it'll do this weird 1-2 shift. Hell, sometimes it's happening when I pull into the gas station, I fill up and immediately pull out of the gas station, it'll do the weird 1-2 shift thing again. I'm like, what the hell? But I don't know, it's almost like the trans is slipping. But like I said, the car is brand new. It's been doing it since I got it, but I just chucked it up to it being in eco mode and all this other stuff. So I'm gonna take it out of eco mode. I'll show you guys right here. So you see, we're in street mode, trans and street, everything is street power. Watch this. So I have to catch it. Make sure I close the garage. So I'm going down the street. All right, so I'm gonna try to catch it going to the right. I tried to catch it to the left, but it's too short. So we're gonna go to the right. Hopefully you guys can hear it. Pick it up. Garage closed. All right, let's try it. I don't know if you guys heard it, but it's like, ooh. I hope you guys heard it. I can't do it again. That was my one and only shot. Only after the car's been sitting a while, it does this weird 1-2 shift. So that's why I haven't really, you know, thought it was a real problem. And I didn't really even want to try going down there to Dodge, be like, hey man, I got this weird issue with my 1-2 shift. There will be no way they can replicate it. As you saw, I just took off again and it didn't do anything. Didn't do a damn thing. So after that first shift, it won't do it again until the car's been sitting a while. Then you can get it to do it again. So I'm not willing to go sit down at Dodge for 2-3 hours, however long it takes, just for this thing to try to do that weird 1-2 shift thing again. So yeah, so you get I hope the camera picked it up. I hope you guys can hear it. But that's one of the dislikes right there, that weird 1-2 shift. It's hard to replicate it again. I'm gonna try it one more time right here at this stop sign. See what happens. The next thing on my list is a very minor ones. Some of you might not even care about it, but it's this white stitching on the steering wheel, man. I'm not a fan of the white stitching on the steering wheel at all. My last Hellcat had it. I don't think my 2015 had it. The 2015 Hellcat. I think this was a 2019 and up thing when they started adding this white stitching around the center console. I'm okay with that. That's not a high touch area. That's not a high contact area. But on the steering wheel, right here where my thumbs rest, or right here at the bottom where my fingers always like this, that's a high contact area, and I'm not a fan of putting my little grubby greasy paws on white stitching because it's super hard to keep clean. So whenever after a long work day or something like that, oh, punch bucket, after a long work day, or I don't know, I've been playing basketball or football or something, and I hop into the damn car, and I gotta worry about touching this, getting this white stitching dirty. I don't know. I just feel like any other color other than white would have been perfect for the steering wheel. You could have just made it black. Why don't you just make black stitching on the steering wheel? I feel like that would have looked better anyway. Let's go ahead and hop out and take a look at the next one. All right, 2B, so hopping out of the car, we already went over the weird 1-2 shift, went over the white stitching. We're gonna go a couple of cosmetic things on the outside that we got to deal with these cars. So the next thing on my little list isn't a Hellcat thing. It's a wide body specific problem. It's rock chips. So as you can see, these front tires are pretty freaking wide, and Dodge tried to help us with the rock chips a little bit. I'll go over the ways they tried to help. So they supply you with these little guys right here, these little rock guards from the factory. You can have the dealer put them on, or you can put them on yourself, but they aren't installed from the factory. They just come with the car, either in the trunk or glove. I think mine are in the trunk. And you just throw them on. It's just 5 little plastic rivets, super easy install. Throw them on, you're good to go. So they do help a little bit, but as you can see, it's easier to see from the other side. Let me go around. As you can see on this side, that front tire sticks past that rock guard just a smidge, and it's just enough to stick or to still throw rocks down the side of the car. But when they do make it down the side of the car, we still have this small layer of protection right here, little dealer or manufacturer installed PPF that runs down the side right here. Hope you guys can pick it up on camera. Runs down, you got a little triangle down here, and it does help stop some of the rock chips, but it doesn't stop all of them. Some of them make it right past all of that, make it past here, and they come right back here and smack inside my wheel. Now on the outside of my tire, I can be to blame for that. If you guys remember my Nito review, you remember me talking about how I no longer have a lip protector on my tires. So some of the rocks do hit the outside, so I can be to blame for that. But the ones that end up on the inside of the wheel, you can see I got a couple of chips on the inside of the wheel. The rocks that get in the inside, I don't think a lip protector on the outside is going to stop the rocks from coming around and smacking the inside. So if you're worried about rock chips, just know that if you're looking at a Hellcat and up for the Charger, I'm sorry, you're stuck with the wide body. But for you Challenger guys, I believe you still have the choice of getting wide body or narrow body for the standard Hellcat. If you're getting Redeyes and up, like I said, I'm sorry, you're stuck with the wide body, so you're going to deal with the rock chips. Scat Pack guys, you still have the choice to choose wide body or narrow body. So if you're worried about rock chips, then you might want to stick with the narrow body. But if you don't mind a few rock chips, and maybe, like I said, you can just get this rear back here PPF, or you can get bigger front rock guards to try to help cut down even more on the rocks. Moving on from the rock chips, next thing on my list is kind of a, I don't know why Dodge did this. So coming down here to this front little vent right here, it's the same on the other side. So these two front vents over here. Now, if you guys remember on the older Hellcats and Scat Packs, the old Scat Packs had a fog light here. And it's just a little circle fog light. Just go right here. Boop. And the old Hellcat just had an open vent. So why the new Scat Packs and Hellcats don't have fog lights and open vents to differentiate the two is beyond me. This right here just looks like an afterthought. It looks cheap. And it looks like they just came up to the conclusion, it was like, we're running out of parts, screw it, just slap this up there. It's going to be the same for wide body 392s and Hellcats. Boom, problem solved. Because this looks like a light should go here. 100% looks like this is where a light should be. It looks like they just said, screw it, just stick one thing there, won't even worry about it. It's going to be the same on both. For the Durangos and the Jeeps, for the 392s, they have lights. And for the Hellcat variants of the Trackhawk and the Durango Hellcat, is big open vents. So why they couldn't do that on the Chargers is just beyond me. A fog light right here would have been perfect for the 392s, and for the big old 6.2 powered cars, could have just had a giant open vent. If the Z01 can have a giant open vent and not have an issue, and the Z01 and the CTSVs, they all have big ass vents to feed air into those big ass motors. Why would you not want that to be the case here on your most powerful variants? Like, why would you want just this dummy looking stuff going on here when you just could have opened that up? So if there's someone third party willing to make this, I'll be your first customer, man. If you can make something that looks as close to OEM design as possible and throw it in here instead of this cheapy deepy looking mess, let me know. I'll be your first customer easily. I don't know why they did that. It just looks cheap and it looks like an afterthought, but whatever. Moving on. So the next thing on my list is not really a physical thing with the car. It's going to be COTS. If you guys remember my 6130 video, you guys remember me mentioning COTS is cat over temp protection. So quick breakdown on what COTS is whenever your catalytic converters reach a certain temperature, your car starts dumping fuel to try to cool the cats down. That makes your car run rich and it kills power. It's going to be the difference between dynoing at 600, 500 wheel or your full 700 plus wheel horsepower. It's going to be the difference between running a 9-second 6130 versus a 7-second 6130. So a pretty huge difference if you're running into COTS. And a lot of people, they don't understand it, so they get these cars, they just go out here, they try racing, and they're losing the cars left and right, and they just can't figure it out. It's probably because they're running into COTS. Now, if you have a fresh car and you're still losing, then that other car is probably just that much faster. But if you've been driving a car for hours, or you've done multiple pulls back to back, you're you're probably going to be running the COTS and you're not going to be making full power. So that's just something you need to be aware of. I was aware of it, but I somewhat forgot about it whenever I first got the car. So if you guys have been paying attention to my videos, you remember me saying about how when I first got the car, I went out here, I tried to do a draggy pass with my 6130. Try to get some 6130 times, and then I clicked off a 9-second pass, and I was immediately upset at how slow it was. And it was because of COTS. COTS was running, was slowing the car down, but COTS slowed the car down, and it's a pretty big difference. Let the car cool down, came back out the next day, the car was fresh, and instantly a second quicker. And since then, I've actually gone even faster than that. Everything else, nothing has changed. All I did was let the car cool down, and she runs as she's supposed to run. A lot of these guys, they just do not get it. I've been seeing videos where they're saying, man, I'm out here losing the regular Hellcats, blah, 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 blah. Well, that's probably why. Older Hellcats had a higher COT threshold. They had a higher temperature threshold, which was, I want to say 1800 degrees, and these new ones are set lower at like 1500, I believe. Don't quote me, I'm not sure what it actually is, but just to give you an example, so if the newer car is going to have a lower threshold, that means it's going to run to COT sooner than the older cars would. So if you're looking into the cars and you're thinking you're about to go out here and be a world beater for 8 passes in a row, just know that that's not the case. You're going to run into COTS. Or if you're looking at these cars, but you're watching these YouTube videos and you're seeing how they just keep losing to everything, some cars they should lose to. There are faster cars out there. It's just it's the nature of racing, man. You're not going to win everything. But some of these races, you probably should let the car cool down and you would do much better. Either you can let the car cool down or you can go get it tuned. So anyway, COTS is an issue that most people just aren't aware of. So it's a dislike for me just because it is a lower threshold. So I can't run the car as hard as I used to, as my older one would, but it is a faster car, just not for as many passes as I would like. So I can get maybe 1-2 good passes or 1 to 3 good passes out of it versus my old one being able to make 4 or 5 passes out before our COTS start kicking in. All right, so the last thing on my list isn't really going to be about the car. It's more of a me problem, I should say. Excuse me. And it's just how much more paranoid I've got owning this car. So it seems like the entire time that I was waiting for this car to arrive, every day, every month, every week, it seemed like someone else was getting something stolen. Their Challenger, their Scat Pack, their Chargers, their Redeye, something was getting stolen, man. Every post, it seemed like someone else had their car stolen, and it was making me super paranoid. So even after I've got the car, I wouldn't say I've calmed down a bit, but I definitely haven't. I'm still pretty paranoid. If I go somewhere, I need to maintain eye contact with the car. And if I can't maintain eye contact, I try to hurry into the store. If I'm running errands or something, I try to rush in and rush out as fast as possible. Like, I do not like to leave this thing out of sight at all. Like, I've seen how quickly thieves can get in here, take it, and be on their merry little way with your car, go joyride it, or do whatever the hell they're going to do to it, part it out, whatever the hell the thieves do. I've seen how quickly they can do it, and it's pretty impressive. I'm not gonna lie. These new thieves are a different breed, and it's not the olden days where they sit there and try to hotwire the car. No, they got fancy little iPads and things. They just roll up, clone a key, unlock your car, start your car, just like they had a key this whole time. Or they do it the old-fashioned way, bust out the window, slide in, pull up your neutral release strap, and then you just push the damn car off down the street and get someone else to pull them or tow them down the way. So paranoia is pretty crappy. I'm not gonna lie. I can't just go out and enjoy myself without worrying about the damn car being gone by the time I get back. Some of you guys, that might be a deal breaker for you, is being paranoid and how crazy these things get stolen. So that might be a deal breaker for you. But for those of you who are like the let insurance handle it, then I guess whatever. You do you. You guys let insurance handle it if you want to. I'm not a fan of letting someone take my stuff, or making it easier for them to take it, I should say. Making it easy for them to take it and then hoping that insurance pays out enough for me to go get another one. One, you're going to have to wait if you're trying to get one built. Two, if you go to a lot or something, whatever insurance pays you, I guarantee you it's not going to be enough to go get one off the lot. I guarantee. So you can let insurance handle it. I'm just going to do my best and stay paranoid for the time being anyway. Maybe over time, my paranoia might calm down and I might not be so crazy about it. But right now, I'm sorry, I got to keep eyes on. It's eyes on, baby. I see you, you got me. Two-person concept out here. PRP. Anyway, A lot of you guys might won't get that, but anyway, that's all I got, man. That's my little dislikes about the car, about owning the car. Some of them may be deal breakers for you, but if they aren't, then go for it, man. I've been enjoying the car more than disliking it, that's for sure. There's a few other little cosmetic things around the car, but that's more of a my car specific, so not really, you know, really worth bringing up, but whatever. That's all I got. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If your first time stopping by, make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you hit the bell icon, man. I got more videos coming up. Big changes coming to the channel. Well, not really the channel, coming to the car. So, looks pretty good as is, but we got something coming I think you guys are really gonna like, man. So make sure you stay tuned for that video. Big changes coming here at the end of the month, so stay on the lookout for that. That's all I got. Until next time, to you, I'm out. Peace.